As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Yeah.
Looks good. Hey, we are counting down to America's 250th birthday this summer. We are sharing our We the People series, the people, places, and things of the past that have shaped our country into what it is today. A bit of Madison history today, Charlie.
On this day, February 18th, back in 1869, urban planner John Nolen died at the age of 67, leaving behind a design legacy that remains today. You might recognize the name from John Nolen Drive. Nolen was hired in 1908 to plan out where parks in the city of Madison would be. He helped to grow the vision for plans for the University of Wisconsin, the city of Madison, and the state park system. Nolen believed natural landscapes were essential to happiness, so he incorporated trees, parks, and plazas into his designs. He even convinced the state legislature at the time to invest in funding for state parks and to create a system for more parks to be created. And that's this day in history for February 18th.
It's got to be a bit of a challenge for an urban planner to work with an isthmus, I would think, you know?
Yeah, you know you're big time when a major thoroughfare is named after you. Though.
Yes, yes, and that road right now,
not a good one to be on.
Not everyone's favorite at the moment.
Yeah, he didn't plan that one out very well.
Thank you.